Hey everybody, it's Diana. I filmed this back in December, but life got busy and I didn't get a chance to edit this, so better late than never. I'm using a bunch of lawn fawn stuff today, the snow day, winter alpaca, and the toboggan together stamp sets, and I'm going to be making a pop-up card. I'm doing things in a bit of a different order today. I'm going to be taking my card base first, and I'm actually going to be heat embossing the interior sentiment in the bottom right corner. I'm stamping Merry Christmas from the Toboggan Together stamp set, as well as It's Cold Outside, Alpaca My Scarf from the Winter Alpaca. I'm using Marine Tinsel Embossing Powder by Recollections. It's not going to be listed in my supply list below, but it's something that you can buy at Michael's. Next, I'm going to be doing some die cutting and embossing. So I have my Cuttlebug out, and I'm going to be using a Tim Holtz embossing folder, and I'm embossing 2 pieces of light blue cardstock. Then I'm going to be die cutting Lawn Fawn Stitched Mountains, Stitched Hillside Pop-Up, and Forest Border. I'm adhering the snow caps to the mountains with my Zig 2-way glue pen. I really like these mountains. There's 2 mountain ranges in the set, one large and one small, and they're perfect for layering on top of each other. I love the stitch details as well as the 3 different sizes of snow caps that you can kind of mix and match on the mountains depending on how much snow you want. Now I'm taking one of my embossed panels and I'm gluing it to the inside of my card as my background. Then I'm gluing the smaller range of mountains to it. At this point I decided I wanted to pop up the larger range of mountains, but I'll set this aside for a bit so I can do the other components of my card. So I stamped and die cut out the winter alpaca, and I'm just going to do some simple Copic coloring. All the Copic colors are listed in the bottom left corner. I didn't record this, but I also stamped out 3 trees from the Snow Day stamp set. I stamped a pine tree in the Noble Fir ink, and then 2 of the triangle trees, one in celery stick and one in freshly cut grass ink. After I was done coloring, I set all of my stamped stuff aside, so I'm going to make the pop-up piece for my mountains. I took a scrap piece of cardstock, I think it was like 2 inches long, and I folded it in half and then brought the edges to the center and then taped the 2 open ends together to form like a little square. Now I'm just going to adhere those 2 small squares into my card base. I'm putting glue on the bottom of the square as well as the side that's going to be against the small mountain range. Then I'm going to be closing the card to make sure they stick to the inside of the card. I'm just putting some Tombow Mono on the fronts of those squares, and I'm adhering my larger mountain range and closing my card to make sure it fits. I'm taking that stitched Hillside pop-up die cut and I'm creasing it along all the score lines that the die had made and putting a strong adhesive to the bottom. I'm lining up the bottom edge of that panel with the fold of the card, then I'm folding down the small hill tabs and applying more of that tombow mono and closing the cards so that they stick to the back, creating my pop-up. I'm taking those trees that I stamped and die cut out from the Snow Day stamp set, and I'm adhering them onto my hills with my Zig 2-way glue pen. I decided I wanted my alpaca to pop up too, so I made 2 more little pop-up squares and I adhered them to the front hill in the same way I did with the small mountain range and just added my little alpaca in. To finish up the inside of the card, I'm using my Spectrum Noir clear overlay brush pen and I'm adding some shimmer to the alpaca scarf and all of the trees. I spent all that time on the inside of the card, so I'm making the front of the card really simple. I'm using Simon Says Stamp Holiday Hello stamp set. I'm going to heat emboss on the forest border die cut that I made earlier, a very happy holiday hello in Ranger Liquid Platinum embossing powder. I felt like I made a mistake. I actually realized at this point I didn't like how the top words looked in the embossing powder. They weren't even really visible, so I brushed the powder off and then re-stamped it with Lawn Fawn's Peacock ink. Taking my second embossed panel that I made earlier and I'm gluing it to the front of my card base. Then I'll be adhering the forest border panel on the bottom half to keep the front looking simple. So that finishes up my card. It's super fun and different. I made a few other simple examples using the same stitched Hillside pop-up die and different Lawn Fawn stamps to hopefully inspire you guys and give you guys some more ideas. I really like this die and I think it was a great investment, so you can look forward to seeing more of it in the future. if you're interested in any of the supplies that I used in this video, they are linked below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.